party does, and as people in this room do. So respectfully, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and look forward to a good year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. All right. We have other candidates?
Good evening, Madam Chair, fellow Democrats. It's good to see all of you tonight. Amir, what is it, 61?
61 days to election
61
day.
days to election, 61 days. So we are in the home stretch. We're fired up. We've got an incredible team that we put together. We have been working very hard on our fundraising, and we're hitting our targets. We had our first forum Monday night, and so it really felt like we're in the election season. I want to thank Evelyn and NAACP and the HRC for co-hosting that. So what do we need to win this thing? We need volunteer help, we need support. We're going to win this thing person to person on the ground, spreading our message of economic opportunity, of helping children and youth, and of trying to bridge the inequities that we have in this city, especially with economic segregation and income inequality. So you can help us by volunteering, and we have a bunch of folks back there that would be happy to sign you up. We're doing phone banking just about every night. We're going door to door pretty much every night and on the weekends. And then the other thing that we need is help with financing. And I'll just to remind the board, because I think some of you maybe weren't as active during my last campaign, but every campaign that I've been involved with where the DEC has helped contribute to my fundraising, I've given that amount back at the end of my campaign. And that's the way these things usually happen. It's hard to raise money early. A lot of it comes in late. So it helps us get our message out there in time. Early voting starts in what, Amir?
March 4th.
March 4th, so about a month. And so it's happening quickly. So I'd like the committee to consider that. I think that I've proven myself to be a viable candidate and represent the values of this organization and the party at large. And it would be a tremendous help to us winning this election. And I'd be happy to answer questions if there are any.
Thank you. Questions? Comments?
Okay, thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Zach Sedalis. I'm running for Last County Sheriff. I was born, to give you a little background about me, I was born and raised and educated here in this county, graduated from the University of Florida. And I've been with the Sheriff's Office for a little over 10 years. During that time, I worked on the road as a patrol deputy, and then I went into, worked on our budget with our union reps, and also I'm a pre-employment polygraph examiner, so I hire and I'm part of the hiring process. Also, currently I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office doing homicides and robberies. So I've been around for 10 years and trying to make the most of those 10 years that I've been there. Currently, the Sheriff's Office, we have some major concerns. We have a 67% turnover rate at our 911 center. We have a 35% turnover rate at our deputy sheriff and jail level. And we have about 88% turnover rate at our victim advocacy. What this relates to is a lot of money for turnover as far as how much money we're spending in our budget, which you've seen the fight back and forth between the county commission and the sheriff over the last 6-7 years as far as the money is concerned. What we have to do is, and what that also is an issue as being in a hiring process, is that we've reduced some of our standards as far as people getting hired. People who wouldn't get hired 3 years ago to be law enforcement officers are now being hired. My concern is that we need quality people to do this job. When you see what's going on nationally, and you see the issues that are going on, you look at how do we combat that? Well, it's all through prevention, and that's through recruitment. You have to recruit the right people to do this job. You can't have anybody who wants to have a government job or be a law enforcement officer to carry a gun and have the rights to take away the constitutional people, they make arrests and take constitutional rights away. You have to have people who want to serve and protect, not people who got bullied in the lunch line, or people who want to drive fast and shoot guns. So we have never really gone out and recruited people. We've done everything from in-house, people who applied on the internet, or also at Santa Fe College. This is a great place to recruit, but it's like recruiting out of the same high school for one team. You have to go through the whole state to get the diversity that you need. FAMU, within Cookman, Florida State, UNF, we have to go find those people and those recruiters. And we have to build those relationships with all those community colleges, but also the universities. And we have those relationships almost like scouting, where they would call you and say, I know you're looking for this person, here's a standout applicant, please come see them. And the sheriff needs to do that. That is something that a sergeant or a deputy does not need to do. The sheriff needs to go and find these people and bring them back to Alachua County, because once you graduate from school, society tells you to get a job and then raise a family. What better place to raise a family than Alachua County? This is why we've all chosen to live here. It's a safe place. We have the lowest homicide per capita in the state. I want to keep it that way. And what's going down when we have the turnover rate, we have 2-year deputies training 1-year deputies. That's a problem, because at 2 years you don't know what you're doing, training the 1-year deputies that way. So we're reducing the kind of services that we're actually getting, a quality of service when you call 911. That needs to happen. We need to make sure we have people who are going to serve and protect your family, your children, and your property. So thank you. My name is Zach Sedalis. Any questions, please? I would glad to answer them.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Questions?
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Your recruitment, you seem to indicate that part of the problem with the personnel is the recruitment process. Is there a problem actually with the work environment that's causing people to
Yes, ma'am.
leave?
The sheriff actually did a study 4 years ago on the 911 center. And they brought an independent contractor in to find out, and they asked the question, was it a personnel problem? Are we hiring the right people? Or is it a management problem? The independent contractor came back and said it was a management problem. Now, to get into the weeds a little bit, it hasn't been fixed, it's been 4 years. We allotted this year $234,000 in overtime money expenditure to the 911 center. Because of the turnover rate being 67%, we're gonna go well over 900,000, and that's 4 years in a row. So that's almost $4 million that we've spent on overtime money because of the turnover rate. And so that's the money the county commission gave for those positions for the jail that we have not filled. We're still 30 now, and they gave us the positions for, gave us money for 30 positions to fill. We keep the turnover rate that you're involved in, so we're still 30 down at the jail. And so we can't keep it because the environment is toxic. And please do not take my word for it. Ask anybody who works there. Either be a records clerk, or be a 911 dispatcher, a deputy, sheriff themselves. Please ask them, because they are not happy with the environment. They're not happy with the management. There is no one who walks around who's a leader. It's more of a management style, and it's very toxic. So I can do other things. I want to, I could do other things. I choose to do this job for the pay because I love this county. This is where I'm born and raised. I owe a lot to this county. So that's why I do it. It's not for any other reason but trying to fix the sheriff's office and to protect the community. So please ask other people. Any other questions?
Thank you. There are other questions.
Yeah, you said that you do pre-employment polygraphs?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that strictly within the sheriff's department?
Yeah, well, yes, ma'am. For us, that's what I do criminal and pre-employment, but that's what I mainly work with the hiring of the new
Okay.
candidates. That's what I work with. Yes, ma'am.
John?
Yes, sir.
I agree with you 100%, because I was out there today. I was arrested for supposedly taking somebody's truck. And it was in the paper, in Alligator, and on Channel 20 News. If you listen to the 11 o'clock news, you'll see it. It's going to court. And what I seen out there, experiencing for myself, was exactly what he said. There was not proper processing. There wasn't a person who knew their job out there. There was, what went out there was, when they brought prisoners in, the prisoners were kept separately. They were just in a chain aspect. And when the one asked the other officer what they were in here, they didn't know. Now, that young officer bringing them in should have known. This is exactly what he said. And also, the conditions of that jail was, to me, was filthy. The floor, in the cell that I was in, was filthy. I couldn't dare to use the bathroom or take my shoes off or lie down because it was that dirty, sir. I don't mean to mock the jail, but I'm telling the truth. I am a man of facts and truth. And so, yes, we need your leadership to turn this jail around and the sheriff's department around and make it 2016 a better year.
Thank you, thank you.
And then when we talk about too, when you talk about people having experience, here's the issue. You look at, there's a difference between people being stat driven and and that is trying to solve crime and stats. So you put together a police unit or an area to focus on some high crime, you think that you focus on stats. So how do we know we're effective? How many arrests we have, or those things? Well, if 45 arrests and 44 of them are bad, there's no point. That's not good. You can still deter crime by just making one arrest or just having contact with the community. For instance, lights on a bike. People getting arrested for lights on a bike. The issue is this, and the reason why we stop a person without light on their bike is because it's a safety issue. We don't want them to get hit by a car, but we want them to make sure they're safe. So I don't know, the days of pulling a kid over, and if the kid was doing everything right, they had no light on the bike, what's wrong with the days of loading that bike in the police officer's car, taking them to Walmart, buying them a light, putting a light on their bike, taking them home, and having that communication with the child. They'll never forget that opportunity. They'll never forget that contact with a law enforcement officer at that time. That's the issue. But now, granted, if the kid's got a stolen TV on the back of his bike, and he's just robbed your house, it's a whole different story. We can all agree that's a different story. But bottom line is that we have to have the community policing, what everyone talks about. We don't do. Right now, we show up in August and we hand out backpacks, or we show up in Thanksgiving and we hand out turkeys. You cannot help the community by just coming out two or three times a year. You have to be in the community every single day when people don't need you. So when they call 911, they trust that you'll show up and do the right things. And that's what we need to get back to, being the peace officers. And we can easily do that.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, it's also long. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Interesting. Oh, okay, Adrian?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I apologize for arriving a little late. On my other job, I'm director of entrepreneurship master's programs, and I was working with our kind of next set of entrepreneurs in the master's class.
And give us your name.
Oh, Adrian Hayes Santos. I'm running for Gainesville City Commission for the District 4 seat. Yeah, so my other job was working with our next set of entrepreneurs, people who are creating jobs, focusing on our local community. And that's why I'm running, really about Gainesville, our local community, who we are, and the uniqueness of Gainesville, and making sure that we keep that uniqueness as we're growing as a city. I grew up in the city. I grew up on Hogtown Creek as a kid, playing in the creek, looking for shark's teeth. I know how important our environment is, our waterways, our trees. I know important why we live here. We live here because we're different. We are different from the rest of Florida. We're different from the rest of the country. I mean, we have people who have grown up here their whole life, have been here for generations. Others who have come here for the university and come for other reasons. But we all stay here for a reason, because we're a different breed. And I want to make sure that we keep that we're a leader in diversity, that we're a welcoming city, that we have a positive outlook on our city and where we're going. Making sure that one of the main reasons we're protecting our neighborhoods. Making sure that when we do have development, that it fits with the neighborhoods. Making sure that we have proactive, effective codes enforcement in our neighborhoods as well. I also want to make sure that we're promoting an economically vibrant downtown. I want our downtown to be the critical hub for our region. I want us to, when people think of Gainesville, we're a world-class arts and parks city. I want us to be a world leader. And I want to see people downtown who are from the ages of 70 to 30 to 40 to 5 years old who have things to do. Things that are beyond just getting drunk and eating in restaurants. We need more things to do in our city. One of the main things I want to do is actually at Depot Park, building an amphitheater down there, something that can be a draw for our region. I also want to make sure that we're preserving our natural environment. I mentioned earlier growing up on Hogtown Creek, and it was dirty when I was playing as a kid, and it's still dirty. I mean, we do have problems in our city. We need to make sure that we continue to clean up our waterways, like our Sweetwater Preservation Park that was built down on Williston Road. It's a beautiful park, and we need to continue doing things like that. Making sure that we're bringing in a minimum one funding from the state. I think Glen Springs is a perfect project where we can actually make another beautiful, amazing park in the heart of our city. I also want to make sure that we fund our parks master plan. That's something that can set us apart, building a connected trail system throughout our community. These are things that we need to be looking forward. What is our city going to look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now? That's what we're going to set down with our policy. But I can't get there without your help. With you helping to volunteer, helping with, I guess we're in public buildings, so I can't ask the other thing. But also with your vote as well. So On March 15th, or early voting, please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Any questions?
May I ask a question? This sign in front of Cynthia's house, did you just plant it there, or did you take it down to the DEC office and she got it there?
I don't know how that sign got there. I did not place it.
No, yeah, that's Cynthia. She got it from the DEC office.
Okay, and how did you get inside the DEC office? I mean, how do you like, I didn't get my call returned, but I don't know whether it was locked. How did you get inside?
They have open business hours, I believe. I'm not sure the exact hours.
12 to 3, Monday through Friday.
Well, I'm sorry.
Monday through Friday, 12 to 3.
So, okay, that's fine. And how did you get the support agreement? How did that come to you?
Yeah.
The support agreement. How'd you get that?
What's part of, I have,
Did you sign a support agreement?
I have not signed a support agreement this time.
I'm sorry?
I have not signed a support agreement this time.
So basically, this is the problem, Cynthia.
We signed it last time.
He said he did not sign a support agreement this time. So, you have a problem with not only your own image, but you're hurting the Democratic Party. Because this is an important area. You have Scott Camille installing George Bush, by getting people to vote for Ralph Nader on your resume. Then you have something like this, and it detracts from our proud party on a state level. And, it's not right. I'm not going to be driven out of the Democratic Party that I belonged to since 1972.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think this is the first time we've seen you since I've been here, but thank you. Thank you, Adrian.
So
I think
it's not
Cynthia has
Cindy.
done a wonderful job.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Jean, did you have something? Thanks,
Okay,
Adrian.
all right, thank you.
Well, I'm an old retired politician, so I like to support young people that are coming up, that are dynamic. And we have a woman in the state of Florida that has me turned on. I am so excited about Pam Keith. She's running for the U.S. Senate. She is bright, articulate, beautiful, ambitious, and she's not rich. So I'm giving her a fundraiser, not this Friday, but next Friday, the 22nd. I've got flyers right over there at the entrance at my house. She's just got a great guy to run her campaign nationally. She's getting noticed everywhere. This woman was in the Navy, okay? She served in the Persian Gulf. She's got a law degree. She speaks somewhat several languages, including Arabic. Her dad was in the State Department, so she bounced all around the world. I mean, she's a world-class act, and she's willing to throw her hat in. There are other good Democrats running. In fact, I've given money to her opponent, but now I'm going to raise money for her, because we've got to keep her in the fold. We've got to show her that we citizens of Florida will be behind her, win or lose this time. I remember when Peggy first ran for office, I said, well, yeah, Peggy, go for it. You get your name out there, and people will get to know you. You're not going to win. Next time you run, then you'll win. Maybe the same thing will happen with Keith, Pam Keith, eh? So she might not win this time, but we've got to keep her in. So we've got invitations over there. I'm doing a wine and cheese, and that's kind of expensive. So call me if you're going to come, so I make sure I got enough wine and cheese for you, because I don't want to waste money. I want to give her money to buy advertising rather than give a lot of money buying wine. You understand?
Yes.
So let's keep supporting our young people that are willing to do this hard work of running for office.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening, my name is Melissa Sterry. I am the campaign manager for Ed Emery, who is running for Florida's 3rd Congressional District. Ed cannot be here tonight because I have him dialing for dollars. So, let's start with our 4th quarter FEC report. It's not pretty, I'm not happy. Ed's not here because of that. We raised $17,000 which gives us a year-to-date a little under 30,000. It's a start, but it's not good enough. Redistricting gave us a huge gift, I mean a huge gift. I have to say, for the first time in maybe 20 years, you actually have a chance to win this congressional district. This is going to be a $1 million race, and that's a lot of money. But for a congressional race, it's incredibly cheap. How do we get to $1 million? We're looking for monthly reoccurring, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We got some folks in the room who are already doing that, and we greatly appreciate them. We're also starting our house party process. Our first one is tomorrow night. We are beginning to identify some folks who will do some high-end fundraisers for us, and we have started our pursuit of political action committees, their endorsements. We have started with 97. We've identified 97 on the national level that we want to go chase. So we have some good news. Our goal for the first quarter of this year is all about the money. We're going to raise $150,000 this quarter. That will hopefully get us on the radar of the DEC, which is something that hasn't happened for candidates in the past, but that's a metric that will get them to wake up. And our really, really good news, Ed needs 2,298 petitions to get on the ballot.
And?
We have 2,009 as of yesterday. Tonight I am mailing out the last 389. So that gives us a buffer of 100 ballots for them, 100 petitions for them to kick out. So hopefully within the next 10 days, Ed Emery will be the first living Democrat on the ballot for any federal race, be it Congress, Senate, President in the state of Florida. And he will beat the deadline by 6 months. So I really want to thank all of the folks in Alachua County who have gathered 1,185 petitions out of this county alone.
Yes.
I love you guys. I love you guys. So sometime at the end of the month in January, we will be having Ed's on the Ballot party. Not sure where, not sure when yet, but we're going to have a party, and hopefully you all will come and join us. If you would like to help us, please, we, if you would consider making a monthly reoccurring, or if you would consider matching it out to us, we would appreciate that too. You can go to our website, click on donate, that'll take you right to Act Blue. Please join our mailing list. I promise not to spam you with meaningless emails. I swear, I will just give you nice campaign updates, because I hate getting that spam. Oh my God, do I hate that spam. We're also trying to elevate Ed's social media awareness, so please go to the Ed Emery for Congress Facebook page, give it a big old like. I promise to hug you back. And like I said, we're starting our house parties, meet and greets, so if you're interested and willing to grab some of your neighbors and friends, get them together. Kelsey Jones has been hired as our house party coordinator. She's doing 20 hours a week and is our point of contact. You can reach her at finance@edemeryforcongress.com. Anybody have any questions? No? We're good to go?
Good.
Excellent. No one else is in the race, so hopefully getting it on the ballot will keep that nice and clear and non-contentious. Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I might.
Yes.
I want to make a motion, and not everybody's going to be pleased with it, some of you will be, but I think it's what we need to do as a DEC this evening. We know that we have 3 candidates for mayor. 2 of them are Democrats, and those 2 Democrats both have their heart in the right place, and that's a good thing. One of them, Lauren Poe, who you've heard from tonight, has demonstrated his ability to win a city race twice, has demonstrated tremendous ability to raise money on his own. He's raised almost $27,000, which is about 2.5 times what his other major opponent, our Tea Party mayor, has raised at this point. We must win this race, not just Lauren, we must win this race. The people of Gainesville must win this mayoral race. It is imperative that we as Democrats make this happen. One of the ways we make that happen is by putting our fundraising into action, I believe. I move that because Lauren has raised himself to a threshold of fundraising that puts him in a place to win this, we make sure that he gets that done by sending this to the correct committee, and I'm not even sure where that goes.
Campaign Finance Committee.
I move that we move to Campaign Finance Committee $15,000 for the Lauren Poe campaign. We have $63,000. I move the 15 of it to spend on that campaign.
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
Discussion. I think we need to look at the budget and see what we have in for the budget committee, what do we have in the campaign for?
We don't have $15,000.
Yes,
I
I
can
can
tell you
say
that. For
Pardon?
campaign planning?
Yes.
Yeah, we do not.
How much do we have?
That would be the whole budget. I'm the chairman of campaign planning.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah, you're looking at the wrong way. But, okay, that's your question. Well, I think what you want to do is refer to the campaign planning committee that they consider making a donation or supporting the campaign.
At the absolute maximum level possible, we must win this. We cannot lose this election.
Yeah, I would prefer that you not put a dollar amount. The 15,000 would be our whole campaign.
We can raise more money.
We can print some more money?
We can raise more money. We have 61 days left in this election, so this needs to happen relatively quickly.
Further discussion? Yes.
I actually hope you do this because your brand is such that this is not going to help Mr. Poe.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Connors, thanks for your
Thank you.
opinion on this, but I don't think you're a member, right, of the DEC?
Well, I didn't realize all the DEC members can comment. I'm a Democrat. And I know you don't like anything but the echo chamber, but I'm telling you, look at the results. You need to
Mr.
start
Connors,
listening
I
to other
appreciate
voices.
your opinion, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Further discussion? No, but you can ask a question. No, Mr. Konish nor Mr. Shepherd are members, but I am doing a courtesy of recognizing them. They are not members of the DEC. Don, did you have a question?
Yes. What makes you think that Lauren Poe would be the best representative for our city?
That's a fair question. Mr. Poe has served twice as a city commissioner already, been actually elected twice, and has gone out and been able to raise almost $27,000 in this race. And raising your own money and meeting that threshold makes a difference.
Thank you. Okay. All right, there's a motion on the floor.
And I'm going to do that, by the way, to...
Just refer it, the campaign planning committee will meet January 28th. To refer it to the campaign planning committee, but to consider making a donation or supporting. And the way that is usually done, the candidates usually come to the campaign, the customary way is for candidates to come to the campaign planning committee to make the request themselves. So, of course, this Mr. Poe is open to come to the meeting on January 28th and to make that request.
Barring any conflict, Madam Chair, I'll be there.
Barring any, if you can't be there, you can send your campaign manager.
Yes, ma'am. We'll have somebody there.
Thank you. All right. All those in favor of the motion to Well, I think rather than have a motion, just let the campaign come to the meeting on January 28th. But then-
He's gonna withdraw, somebody made a
Yeah, we do have the motion on the floor.
Floor.
I mean, we could have the vote.
So we'll vote on
or withdraw, but,
I'd like to vote on it. I want us to show.
See the will of the body.
yeah.
All right, all right.
What exactly is the motion?
The motion is to ask the campaign planning committee to make the maximum donation to Laura, in support of Lauren Poe's candidacy for mayor.
And the maximum amount is?
We don't know yet.
We don't,
It's
we
gonna
don't
be
know.
discussed in the
Yeah.
How many other potential campaigns might need money?
That's why it needs to come to the campaign planning committee, and I would prefer that it not come with a dollar amount.
Yes.
Because we have to look at campaigns from March through November. So that's why I would prefer not to have a dollar amount.
But you still want the term maximum? Because we're voting for that, the max.
Maximum possible at this time. How about that?
Want to check with the seconder on that, if we're good on that. Who was the seconder? Linda?
Yes,
Are we good
that's
on that?
fine.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Those abstaining? Abstaining, 1, 2, 3? 3. Okay. Thank you, the motion passes, thank you. All right. Okay, Kathy.
I just have an announcement about a fundraiser. We're going to have a fundraiser for Lauren on Sunday from 3 to 5:30 at Bivens North, sponsored by my husband and I, who live in Bivens, as well as our neighbors, Rob and Mary Hyatt, and Penny Wheat and Richard Williams, several people in this room, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, Ruth Reiser, Don Kropp, Bob Cart, and we would love to have everyone there. We have a wonderful view of the lake. I'd say if you're coming though, I've been instructed by Richard to tell you to park on the street, please, not in the parking lot. So love to see you. We'll have food and wine and a nice view, hopefully, and some good weather.
What's the address?
Bivens North, it's, you can use 2602 Southwest 14th Drive if you want to GPS it.